Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Coloring and Comments, a channel where I color in mandalas and talk to you about various topics that are on my mind. And today's video is supposed to be about something else, but I think we'll talk about popularity, wanting to be popular, wanting to be famous, and how that impacts your self-esteem, whether you're a child, or how that affects your self-esteem in your adulthood. And for some reason, lately I've been thinking a lot about school, and I found myself thinking about primary school. I know, it was a long time ago. I won't even say when, but it was a really long time ago. And I remember when I was in grade 6, it was a Friday, and everybody was so excited. Like, everybody in my class was so excited. And I kept asking people, like, why? Like, what is happening? Why are you so excited? Like, what am I missing? And the people that I asked were like, no, nothing is happening. And I only had 2 close friends in primary school, and they told me that nothing was happening. So I trusted my friends. I was like, okay, if something was happening that I needed to know about, they would tell me. Cool. Weekend came and went. Monday. And then on Monday, I overheard one of my friends say, oh my gosh, that party was amazing. And I was like, what party? I didn't know about a party. And they're like, oh no, there was a party on Saturday. And then it clicked. That's why people were so excited. And like, just pause and think about, like, this is a 10, 11-year-old person throwing a party. I don't know where the parents were. I'm not going to question people's parenting, but red flag. Anyway, so they were like, yeah, I know that party was amazing, blah, blah, blah. And I decided, okay, let me ask this person, why was I the only person that wasn't invited? Because basically everybody in my class seemed to be invited. And I went up to this boy and like, okay, why wasn't I invited? Everybody else was there. Like, what did I do? And the person just, like, him being a kid was honest. He was like, look, you're boring. That's why I didn't invite you to the party. And I want to say that I was offended, but I think it solidified how I viewed myself already, which is kind of bad because you want to view yourself in the most positive light. You want to believe that you are an amazing person, capable of so much. But at that point in my life, I didn't feel very great. I didn't feel very important. And that is because in this hierarchy that is created in society, even before social media existed, right? There were those at the top who were the most popular. Then came those that I call famous adjacent, which are people that do the most to stay in the good books of those that are famous or popular. Then you get the ordinary folks, and then you got people like me that were at the bottom. We were literally at the bottom of the tier. And so when he said that and reinforcing that idea, I started to ask myself, like, why is it then so important? Like, why do I have to live a life where everybody is in agreement with what I do? And I say in agreement, not necessarily meaning that they believe what I do is right, but in agreement in the sense that they will not question me or tell me something is wrong because they enjoy the limelight that comes with being next to me or comes with being my friend or an acquaintance or whatever. I mean, I was a very quiet child in primary school, and that was because there was a lot of traumas that happened in that space, from losing one of my best friends to sexual trauma to not living with my mom anymore. So there was that constant change that resulted in me being who I was in that moment. And when I found myself in that position, I realized that many people don't really care about the ordinary person. A lot of people care about being popular. And they care about being popular because they feel like only when they're at the top, or only when the limelight is shining on them, can their feelings be validated, can their experiences be validated. Because when you're at the bottom of the tier, people don't really care, you know? People don't give you the time of day, which is sad, because why do I need to fit in a certain box in order for me to be valued, to be understood, to be heard, to be appreciated? Anyway, so we'll continue with the story. So yeah, he told me I was boring. I was like, okay, cool, clearly that's what I am. And it kind of strained the relationships that I had with my friends, because in that moment I realized that, were they really my friends, or were they simply tolerant of me while still trying to find ways to climb up the ladder? I could never really answer that question, and it always stayed with me, because people don't understand how the chase to be popular, or the chase to fit in, and in that process isolating others, how that can affect their self-esteem. Because when I left primary school and went to high school, firstly, I was like the only child from my primary school that went to the specific high school. Secondly, I did not speak the language that was a medium of instruction at the school. And thirdly, I came with that cloud of, I'm at the bottom of the tier and that's where I should remain. And that was something that constantly worked on my psyche. And having that tag on me, I believe, made me subconsciously allow people to treat me in a certain manner. Because when people tell you that you're at the bottom of the tier, when people tell you that you are not deserving of admiration and adoration, because that's what popular people are deserving of, you start to believe, whether you know it or not, you start to believe that your self-worth is basically zero, if not in the negatives, and people can treat you the way they want to treat you, or treat you in ways that are demeaning in order for them to continue climbing up this beautiful ladder that is popularity and being famous and all the nice things that comes with being at the top, right? And that kind of perpetuated in high school, and I saw it. I realized when I got to high school that I was not the only person. I was not the only person that was perceived to be at the bottom of the tier, because there were little cliques, and each clique was somewhere up the ladder, and if you were not really in a clique, you were kind of like at the bottom. And I think what helped me in high school, and it's something that I try now to instill in people that I meet, is having a group of people that appreciate who you are as an individual, right? So a group of people that, even if they are deemed popular or attractive or whatever classification will put them at the top of the pyramid, that they still appreciate who you are as an individual and create space for you to be who you are as an individual. And for me, it was the friends that I made in high school, the friends that created that space for me. I think that's the only reason I started being very comfortable in my difference, being very comfortable in being at the bottom. If I'm at the bottom, I'm at the bottom. I really don't give a damn, as long as I am the person that I authentically believe I should be, or authentically believe that I am. And them creating this space for me made me realize that, being at the top looks attractive, but not everybody at the top is happy. Because not everybody at the top is allowed to be that true, authentic self. Not everybody at the top is given that space to feel safe with who they are. Not everybody at the top is given the grace to speak that truth. And that too can impact one's self-esteem. And that impact on self-esteem can start evolving into very self-destructive behavior, because these individuals at the top don't know how else to express their need for help. And if you don't really believe it, look at celebrities. Like, you look at these people, they are at the pinnacle of the pyramid, and yet they are so self-destructive. You ask yourself, you have everything that anybody wants. You have access to people that change lives, yet you continue to ruin your own. Why is that? And it's the paradox that is being famous, or that is being popular, is that although it's perceived that when you're at the top you are safe, you are confident, you also find that being at the top means there's a lot of scrutiny, questioning, self-doubt, and that too can impact how you perceive yourself. And I think that's why for me, I'm always like, I really don't appreciate the hierarchy. I don't appreciate wanting to classify and categorize people in certain ways, because I know from both seeing and experiencing that at whichever tier you are, there's always going to be things that impact who you are as an individual and impact your self-esteem, your self-worth, and it's not worth it. And that's why a lot of the time now I remove myself as much as possible from the pyramid that is popularity, or the hierarchy of how things should be and shouldn't be. And this not only goes with modern day society, it goes in with regards to my workplace and with regards to how I interact with people. Because when somebody says, oh, I am boring or I am weird, I say thank you, because that means I am not falling into this predefined box or definition that has been created of what I should be. And because I'm not in this box, I do not have to adhere to this hierarchy of who is better and who isn't better in the society that I currently find myself in. So yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I know when you tell people like, you don't need to be popular, people will be like, hey, being popular makes life easier. So however your stance is on that, I fully respect that. But I want to hear from you. Do you believe that popularity or being popular adjacent is beneficial? And is it beneficial in the short term or the long term? Does it really impact your self-esteem, or does it boost your self-esteem? I also want to know how was school for you? Like, how was high school, primary school? Where did you find yourself in this tier of who's the best and who isn't? And how did you navigate that space? How did you get to a point where you are settled and sure of yourself? And if you think or if you feel like you're not settled or sure of who you are, I am here to tell you that you are amazing. You are created in a way that benefits this world. You should not at any time try and be someone else. You should not at any time allow anybody to diminish your light, because we need you the way that you are to make this world a better place. So thanks for joining me in this conversation, and I look forward to reading your comments in the comment section. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.